It's unfortunate that we've been taught since we were little to want to distract ourselves when we're uncomfortable. But it's just kind of this thing that's passed on, to little children. Like a child gets hurt, they bang themselves. And instead of just stopping and being still with them and being present to them in their pain, there's generally a desire to want to help distract them, right? Because that's kind of what we learned. And these things add up. It's not like in themselves are bad, but it's just that they add up over time. That it's a combination that we're sort of entrained to want to distract and not and avoid learning how to be here fully with the moment as it's arising. And also the overwhelm of life starts to pay a price in our nervous system, and difficulties and events and traumas, they overwhelm the nervous system as well. And so that will also kind of create an overlay between yourself and this moment fully being here. So those are two different avenues that, that we have to work with in order to, once again, just be nakedly here. And that's a spiritual thing, by the way. It's a human thing. It should be just a normal human thing to just be here. But it has to be a part of our spiritual journey, because that's not the way it is for most people. So to come back to truth, to step back into ourselves, it's called the backward step in Zen. I mentioned that quite a few times. You take a backward step into yourself, like just imagine right now. And you lean back into your chair and let yourself feel your spine and your seat. And you pull back your outward leaning attention, this kind of attention outwardly. And it's okay to have part of your consciousness be here, of course, a part of this group, listening to these words. And at the same time, you're leaning back and you're taking occupancy of yourself. And feel whatever you're feeling. The aliveness of being here. It could feel a little uncomfortable, a little jumpy, or just really relaxed, whatever it is. Maybe your heart beats a little fast because you're noticing that you're fully here as much as you can be. That's all that's asked. You don't have to look for more. You just welcome yourself as you are. Whatever is arising is welcomed and open to. That's being here. It's not like I need to work so much more on myself in order to be here. No, you start with what you have. And it's kind of amazing sometimes. The more that we do this, the more that we come home, more of us shows up and says, what about this part? Can I welcome this part of myself? This part that's a little anxious, this part that has been avoiding feeling joy. It goes both ways, the so-called negative emotions and feelings and the positive. If we're avoiding one, we're going to be dulling the other side too. They go together. Like this human emotion package all goes together. It's not like, oh, I just want the beauty of life and the joy and the pleasant feelings and peace and bliss and all that stuff, right? In order to have that, you also have to be open within the full spectrum of your human experience, the full spectrum. And the more that you are able to welcome your sadness and all the things that we've, learned to push away because we weren't taught how to open to these things, right? We label them bad, or the human beings label them bad, Isn't that unfortunate? Because really, when you break down, someone's unmuted, if you could mute them. When you break down any emotion, any feeling, it just goes to sensation. And sensation is neither good nor bad. It just is. It might be unfamiliar. It might be uncomfortable because one is not used to it, Has anybody here, how many people have tried and broken things down to sensation, gone deeper than feeling and just felt into the sensation of what's arising? Deeper than story, deeper than feeling. A feeling is sensation, but we layer it with an interpretation, right? It's good. We want to know this is sadness, but then you want to go deeper. Let it become molecules, vibration. And you free yourself up of any kind of clinging or rejection when you do this. The Buddha said that there are two things that go on that we do, is that we grasp and we push away. We're grasping after certain things, and then we push away. It's this dance that one does during the day. Do you recognize that in yourself? Grasping and rejecting, grasping and rejecting. So when you go deeper than that, you're going to sensation, you go into just what is this? Curiosity. What is this? It's an open-minded approach. I wonder what this is. Not like here, with the mind. I wonder what this is. But it's like this body curiosity. I wonder what this is. Like a child. Instead of labeling and making something into an object. That's what labels do. That's what language does, is it makes things into objects. In our awareness, rather than this is something that's very intimate and lives within you. And it's these dancing particles of vibration. And if we're not putting them into a category of good and bad, what is this? Neither grasping nor rejecting. The curiosity. It kind of creates this healthy neutral ground. Neutral is not bad. Sort of like a neutrality. Peaceful neutrality. I'm going to call off the war within myself of making things bad and wrong. Dividing ourselves up in the process when we reject and when we grasp. It's just a gentle practice. Okay. It's not like the spiritual warrior, you know, it's more like you lay down your arms and you lay down your beliefs about whatever's arising within you. And you allow it to just bubble up and be close to the emergence of a bubble without interpreting it. That's like a walking meditation. You can do this in sitting meditation too. But you can be in an exploration during the day within yourself. I'm not going to label, I'm going to practice not labeling. And go deeper. Take an inward leaning into what's happening rather than label, which keeps you on the surface.